welcome back. So today we're talking with podcasters who can help us thrive in 2025. 20 years ago, our next guest, Michael Chernow, almost lost his life to what he describes as destructive habits of abusing drugs and alcohol. In that time since, he went from not feeling like he deserved to be alive to living a life where he is thriving and helping others do the same. He's now an entrepreneur, a chef, a father, an athlete, and wow, is right, and the host of the podcast, Kreatures of Habit, where he chats with guests about how committing to their daily routines and habits has helped them achieve success. Here's Michael sharing his intention behind Kreatures of Habit, the podcast. Take a look.
Your habits will make you or break you. It's just that simple. Your habits will make you or break you. And I have lived on both sides of that coin, where my habits nearly killed me. I overdosed on heroin. I was dead. I don't know how I made it through that, but I did. And that's why I have such a strong connection with God. But now the habits that I uphold on a daily basis have constructed this human that I never thought was possible. And I'm proud of it. And I want nothing more than to share that with you guys, because it's possible for everyone and anyone.
To the Tam Fam, Michael Chernow. I haven't even asked a question and you've won the audience. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Get it.
You are so candid. Your history, battling addiction, all of these things you pour into this podcast. Did you see this coming?
Well, I knew that I had a story to tell. And I believe that human beings, we were sort of meant to listen to and ultimately tell stories. And that is how things go from generation to generation to generation. And I knew I had a story to tell. And in the world of recovery, some of us don't tell our stories.
Yeah, because of shame and all of these things that go along with being vulnerable. And also it can be, honestly, triggering to go back to the past.
That said, when someone like me, at that time in my life, when I was going through those darker days, heard someone tell their story about overcoming adversity and getting back up, and it inspired me to want to change. And, you know, now my mission is to try to inspire as many people to change as possible.
I love that. I love it. I love it. And so what I love is, you know, a lot of the podcasts are a lot of celebrities now talking, or, you know, people wanting celebrity guests. You talk to people across the gamut, people who are not in Hollywood, who are not on TV, because you believe everyone's got a story to tell. But it starts though with you, and I love this because it is about Kreatures of Habit. I was blown away by this photograph that you had. It's this, and I'm going to brace the audience, this is not actually real blood. But this is something you staged to represent where you were at age 19, the lowest point in your life.
So this was a situation where I was in a very different place than I am now. And I was definitely mingling with the wrong people, and somebody was after me. And this person had actually paid somebody to beat me up. And I knew the person that he had paid. And so we staged it. But that's kind of where I was at in my life at that point. It was dangerous, it was dark.
So the heat was so hot, and the danger and the threat was so real. You said, we're going to stage like you did what you were supposed to do, which was basically injure me.
Yes. That's where I was.
That's where you were.
That's it. Like, those were the decisions I was having to make then.
And this is you, obviously, now.
So that's me. That's me now.
That's you now.
And you know,
they like the you now, you can tell that. To get, though, to that you now, part of what you do is you have a morning routine. It's 19 items on his list. It's pretty comprehensive, you admit that. We were talking in the break because I said I'm a creature of habit as well. And this list is adjusted depending on where you're in your life. But I just want to read some of the 19 things on your list. You rise before the sun.
Yep.
You smile from ear to ear and make a mental gratitude list.
Immediately.
Immediately. I love this. You ask the universe for help. Your morning prayer. You make your bed. I do the same, even when my husband's still in it. I'm like, everybody get up. If mama's up, everybody's up. You light candles. What does that do?
It just gives me a sense of ease. You know, the light from a candle, especially when the sun hasn't come up yet. I light that candle. It's got this golden glow. I'm trying in the morning, in the early part of my day, I really try to create an environment where I feel okay no matter what is going on. The things that I can control. Controlling the controllables. 95% of life we cannot control. When somebody else walks into your periphery, most of the time, you've lost control. You can't control what that person does, what they think, how they act. The only thing we can control is how we respond to them. However, if you set yourself up, that's why I love waking up early in the morning, because I do have a busy life. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a business owner, I'm an athlete. I've got a lot of things, I'm a podcaster, I got a lot of things going on. That hour before everybody in my family wakes up is just that golden hour. And so I create this golden light with a candle. I pray, I meditate, I go into a sauna, I go into the cold plunge, I do all these things. I say positive affirmations. Sometimes I journal, I read.
So by the time they wake up, you're like, hey, gang.
I'm like, well,
I'm ready for y'all kids.
The hardest part is over, right?
The hardest part, getting up.
Stacking those wins in the morning.
And setting the mindset.
It just, because life is hard.
It is.
No matter how you slice it, life is hard, especially if you're gunning for greatness, right?
Yeah.
And I really do look at every day we have a shot to put numbers on the board. Yesterday is gone. There's nothing you can do, so it's not worth wasting time thinking about it. And tomorrow's not guaranteed.
No, it's not. Guess what? Up next, we're going to be joined by one of Michael's most impactful guests, a police officer who knows firsthand how good habits can reduce stress in those difficult times. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking about podcasts that have turned into an obsession, and we are listening to them. And with us still is our guest, Michael Chernow, the host of Kreatures of Habit podcast, which shares tips on how we all can create habits that will change our lives. The podcast has really resonated with listeners who have left comments like life-changing, and there is at least one piece in every episode that resonates with me deeply. It is doing great things for my life and those around me. They're basically having church on this podcast. And joining us is one of the guests, a police officer who made a huge impact on Michael and his listening audience. Please welcome Officer Jason Lacayo to our show. You got fans. First of all, thank you for what you do for all of us. Stressful job, to say the least. You are part of the police department's mental health outreach team. You interact every day with people who are experiencing homelessness, mental illness, substance abuse. You see people in their darkest hour.
Yes, I do.
And it is hard to leave that at the office. You take it with you.
Yeah, it's a difficult job, but just making sure that I fill my cup and wake up every day with gratitude and just a thirst for living a beautiful life.
So you shared practicing good habits and how it's impacted your life. Let me play it.
So I wake up and I try to do 3 things, right? That's a little bit of prayer, some meditation, and I move my body. That sets me up for success, right? Because those 3 things calm me down, right? So that when I go into work, I'm kind of in this like neutral space. Because you don't want to come in like too high, right? You don't want to come in too low. I want to be alert enough where I can do my job from a neutral standpoint. Because you have to understand, when you walk, as a police officer, when you walk into a call, you can be asked to wear one of many different hats. Like, there's times we're mediators, there's times we're enforcers, there's times where we're the shoulder to cry on, So there's so many different dynamics, right? So I want to make sure that I come in balanced. Just literally making sure my mind, body, and spirit are in tune. That sets me up for success. It helps me become a better police officer and makes me a better human being.
Wow. Better human being. Jason, as I mentioned, you are a father. What is one practice that you do to set that balance?
Just making sure I'm the best version of me every single day. Because if I can't show up for, myself, then how can I show up for my family?
What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Pray.
Pray?
Yeah. That's paramount in my life. Faith was taught to me at a very young age. My mother instilled that in my brother and myself, and that's something that I lead every day with.
Michael, I love this because, as I said, so many podcasts, and this is not to say that they're doing it wrong, but there are a lot of interviews with quote-unquote celebrities, with Hollywood stars. The fact that in this police officer who puts his life on the line for us and his community. You have found inspiration that resonates throughout the world when they hear it. That's powerful. And that speaks to your intention that everybody has a story and his daily habits. Today, somebody's gonna go, let me reset my day. That's what the goal was. And there's a lot about faith and spirituality there.
I mean, faith has been a massive part of my life. And, you know, I was told to get on my knees and ask for help early on. And that has been like just, you know, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but I can tell you that I'm sober today, and it's been a long time. And
I love it.
And I pray. And so I think one other piece that we should all just be mindful of in this journey of sort of making better decisions, little ones a day at a time, stacking those little wins. Gratitude is everything.
Gratitude.
Gratitude is, like, I'm looking at you in that smile, like every single morning when I wake up, the first thing I do is I smile from ear to ear. Literally, it looks weird. People must think I'm crazy. Like, if somebody's looking at me, they'd be like, what is going on with that guy? Because I'm like in my bed, but I go into a mental gratitude list. And that just kicks off, you know.
I love it. Well, that's what we're all doing in the morning. If you don't already do it, when you wake up tomorrow, you're going to smile crazy ear to ear and set the tone. Thank you to Jason and everything you're doing. Michael, you can listen to Creatures of Habit wherever you get your podcast. Let's start our practice smile now.